It's it just feels like this morning when I went upstairs I couldn't find Lily. I couldn't find Lily this morning because she fell asleep on me last night on the couch.
Oh.
When we got back home late, we turned on fails. You know, fail videos where everyone's just falling down. You'll know it's my favorite.
You love that physical comedy.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it, love it, love it. So Lily's so smart. She said, I'm going to turn on fails. We'll just giggle.
Lily has been
She's the best.
in tune with what people need.
She always has. She's so good at it.
My goodness. She is anticipating the needs of others.
She is. And
Lily, we salute that here.
You could go into hospitality, Lil. She's always been that way. Like she can tell people's emotions very easily. She knows when someone's teetering on the edge. And she was even great. Like, I mean, I remember when she was so much younger and I would be coming off my rocker and she would go, Alexa, play Christmas songs. And she knew instantly that would just put me in the best mood.
I need that.
Yeah.
I need a child in my life to be doing.
Yeah. Just say, put on Christmas songs. And you're so happy. If you hear Bing Crosby.
Oh, how can you be sad?
How can you? Like, really? Think about it.
I'm thinking about it.
So she would do that. And she can interpret things. She can mediate stuff.
Yes.
She's very, very good at that. And she's just very in tune with me and my emotions and everything. And she's been incredible this whole time because Lily and Bella are so close.
Yes.
So I've been so concerned with, okay, how's Lily going to react? How's Lily going to be? Is she going to be okay? How am I going to pour more into her love languages and things like that so that she doesn't feel lonely and sad and all that sort of stuff? But she's doing the same back to me.
It's true because with Bella gone, there's a gap. There's kind of a missing piece of your family. So you all have to think about how are we filling that hole for each other.
Exactly.
Instead of just feeling like forever, just something's missing.
Something's missing.
Tough.
Where is Bella? What is she doing?
Yeah.
So a couple things have helped. Joshua, on our road trip, we went into this game store in Memphis, Ohio, and they had old school Nintendos. And he was like, you know what? I think I want to buy an old school Nintendo.
Yes.
Old school Nintendo. And then we got a few games. Tetris, Goonies 2, Super Mario, and Top Gun.
It's the best.
Yes. And so he came home, hooked it up. And so now every night since we got home from our road trip, they've been upstairs playing on the Nintendo. Bella, Joshua, and Lily have been doing this. And so last night when we got home, it was pretty late. And Joshua said, Lily, you want to play Super Nintendo? And she was like, tomorrow. Yeah. So they're going to do that tonight. Oh my God. Why is that making me cry?
Because it's going to make me cry. So it's okay. We're going to get through this.
Yeah. It's just really sweet.
Yes.
So that we're finding new ways to connect, right?
Yeah.
It's just finding new ways to fill the time and connect because usually it would be just Bella and Lily running off to do whatever it is that they're doing that night. And so
we're hatching a plan. I feel like those two girls are always like hatching a plan together. Like we're going to get this food and we're going to have this and we're going to watch this movie and then we're going to play this game.
Yep,
like that's always how they've been.
Yeah. They're just hanging out together. I mean, they truly have always been incredibly close sisters. I was saying in my post the other day that they don't speak ill towards each other. Of course, they squabble. Yeah. They are going to have petty little fights.
Everybody squabbles.
But I have never heard my children say to each other, I hate you, or hit each other. And even when they were little, Bella welcomed Lily with open arms, just like, this is my sister. I'm thrilled she's here. Yeah. Let's be pals.
Bella,
it was just great from the beginning.
I have said this for years, that Bella could teach a masterclass on being the older sibling that is really setting the tone for the sibling relationships. Yes. I think if you had continued to have children and people in your home, more kids in your home, that Bella being that oldest one just set the rhythm and set the energy for everybody else to bounce off of. My kids have benefited from that when we've spent so much time with you guys and traveled. And I just have always loved that
she's always been a kid's kid.
Yeah.
Like I feel like some, especially oldest daughters, are so desperate to grow up.
Yes.
They're so desperate to be older.
Or they feel like they have to like be the mom and like be so responsible.
No.
But Bella has always, She will.
She's happy to be a kid.
She'll still run around on the playground.
Yeah.
She still really likes Minecraft.
Yeah.
She still finds ways to connect, but is she absolutely responsible and mature? Yes, she's all of those things.
She was born an old soul. I always said like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, she should have been born in the 50s even. She's just kind of an old soul.
She's like an old soul, but a kid at heart.
a kid at heart.
Yeah.
Her brain is old soul, but she's so happy to be a kid.
Yes.
And to stay in that. She's not rushing herself to grow up. She's not rushing to sit at the adult table. She's not rushing to dress scantily clad. You know, she's just always happy to be hanging with the kids and then still know who she is deep down inside as like a person.
Yes.
She's so rooted firmly in who she is.
Yes, she is.
And you are not going to sway her and you're not going to peer pressure her or any of that. You're not going to do that to Lily either. They just have always really known who they are. And I think it's because of their sisterhood.
Yeah.
Because they ultimately knew, I don't need to chase this friendship out there. I don't need a best friend who I feel like, well, now we need to do everything together and we need to be similar and everything because they had each other.
Yep.
So they didn't have to chase that.
I know it.
And it just gave them this like inner confidence to be true to exactly who they were. And I've loved witnessing it. It's such a joy for me to witness their sisterhood. It's the best. It's absolutely the best. So when Lily got home last night, she fell asleep on me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You said you were looking for her.
Yeah. So she fell asleep on me and I tried to wake her up on the couch and tell her, go to bed. And she was so out of it. And I can tell sometimes I can wake Lily up and she's like, oh, I fell asleep. Okay. I need to get up. And then other times she's talking to herself. It's just, we don't know. We don't know what's going on.
It's a deep, deep sleep.
Yeah. She's awake, but she's not. You know, she's sleep talking and at that point I knew I can't get her up.
Yeah.
Just leave her here. Leave her on the couch. She'll be fine. She'll probably wake up at 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Wonder where she is, and we'll make her way up to her bed. But this morning, when I went out to the couch to look for her, she wasn't there. Joshua had already gone to work. Then I went up to her room. Her door was open. She was not in her bed. So I'm like, okay, maybe she's outside, or sometimes she'll go next door to my parents' house because they have a keyboard over there and she'll be practicing her keyboard or drums or whatever. And so I'm like, all right. And I turn and I'm about to walk down the stairs and then I see Bella's doors open, which probably was from us, you know, moving her out and everything. And I said, well, let me poke my head in there. And Lily was in her bed.
No.
Yes. So I go in there and I'm like, are you awake?
This is like a movie.
I know. I'm like, are you awake? She's like, yeah, I'm up. I could see her glasses were on. And she doesn't obviously sleep in her glasses. So I said, you just wanted to be in your sister's bed, huh? And she was like, yeah.
Oh, Lily.
I know. The cats are up there with her.
They were.
Yeah. I think everyone's just missing Belle. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, it's not fine. You know, it's like
But
it will be fine in
Yeah.
the sense of like she's safe and she's good and she's thriving, but it's not fine because you're missing a piece of your family. Like that's
But they'll be fine. We'll be fine. We will be. And I just, it was really sweet to see her in there.
and the cats.
And the cats were in there just
sweet
chilling with her. And
Oh my gosh, cats know.
they do.
Cats
Oh God,
know.
they're so in tune. They're so in
Yes.
tune. When we were packing everything up, I know that they were thinking like, y'all just got back from your road trip. Why are these suitcases out again?
That's true.
And but that is my pro tip. Hey, parents, hear me say, do not pack stuff in boxes. Do not pack stuff in things that you have to carry kind of underneath.
Yeah.
Instead, I put everything in our rolling suitcases.
So smart.
The big pink one you gave me, all her decor went in there.
Oh,
Then
yay.
in the other rolling suit, we put her clothes in the big blue bags with the handles. Those are game changer. Of course, those are great. But like if they're just awkward things,
Yes.
lamps and things like that, I just put them in the rolling suitcases, and it was so nice just to be able to roll them. And her building doesn't have an elevator, but she's on the second floor, so we only had to carry the suitcases up, you know, one flight of stairs, and it was so great. So do that. Don't put things in. I almost went and bought boxes, but then you can really only kind of carry one at a time.
Yeah.
And having handles and rolls and, you know, the wheels on them was so nice. So I said, the other thing, I didn't want to have to bring the trailer. Like we have our camping pop-up. We thought we might have to pack a bunch of stuff in there. But as we started to gather everything and pack everything, I know exactly how many suitcases can fit in the back of that car and the layout and everything. And we were able to get everything into just the back of Joshua's 4Runner. We didn't even have to put down the middle seat.
I was shocked when you showed that. When you were like, we fit everything just into the back.
And he could still see out the back.
I couldn't believe it.
It was great.
You're a master
at
at packing.
Master packer.
You are.
I am incredible. This is my superpower. If there was like a competition for it, I would actually confidently enter that. As confidently as we're going to enter the Amazing Race, I would enter a packing competition.
Well, that's like
there's gift wrapping competitions. There's singing competitions.
Have you seen the guys that make the beds? Have you seen the bed making competitions?
Yes. I saw this reel come across my feed. I don't know why, because I'm not making my bed regularly, but I do love that it served it to me.
Yes, I loved watching these like very proper, demure men. They're in like a huge auditorium and they've got 2 beds, and you can tell these guys must work in like some sort of hospitality, and they're like master bed makers.
Yes.
And they were doing it as quickly as they could, but as perfectly as they could. I'm like, wow,
You're making those, what do they call them? Hospital bed corners.
Yes,
right?
where it's like perfectly folded. Yeah. Oh, it was really satisfying.
Bella's like, I'm not making my bed in college. I was like, you never made it at home either. I'm sure you're not. We did. We prepared Jayla. Okay, so anyway, so we did get everything packed up, got it all into the back of the 4Runner. Of course, we had to make one run to Target while we were there.
Yes.
But who doesn't have to do that?
So wait, so back up, because Wednesday was the day, was like the day.
It was the last day.
The last full day to pack everything.
The final supper.
Final meal.
That's what we called it.
Yeah.
We called it the final supper.
Final supper is where she had to say goodbye to her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of emotions happening on Wednesday.
Yes, she really wanted her boyfriend to spend the night that night so that they could then wake up and say bye to each other in the morning. And I said, you know what? Let's say bye. I'll give you till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Let's say bye. And then you'll go to bed. And then you'll wake up in the morning and it's just family.
I think that was
just
the right
family
move.
time. You don't want to have to say goodbye to him. Then say bye to the cats.
Oh.
Then get in the car.
Yeah.
Then say goodbye to us.
Yeah.
Then come home and it's too many goodbyes.
In one day.
Yeah. So say goodbye to him. And then we're going to wake up just a family in the morning.
Yes. I really, really like that.
Yeah. And so
the core 4.
And I said, watching them say goodbye, of course, they did it privately. And then I was still awake at 1, obviously. And I followed him out and just tried to give him a big hug and say, we're going to miss you. Of course, we're going to see you. I know. But this is my goodbye to him as well. So, and he's such a part of our family and he's there all the time. So,
yeah.
And then watching her have to be so sad coming back into the house.
Was she so upset?
She was very sad.
Oh, Bella.
She was very, very sad. She loves him so much, rightfully so. They're beautiful and wonderful together. And so, yeah, they're going to 2 different schools. He's going to be an hour and a half away. He gets to have his car on campus, which is so nice.
So nice.
So nice. Wilmington, if you're looking to be swayed by a college, y'all, his dorm room is very nice. His every freshman gets a spot to park their car on campus, which is so amazing. They do not have that at state. If anyone out here lives in Raleigh and would love for us to rent a piece of your driveway from you.
Yes.
We need that. We would love that. And so let me know. Or if you know someone, that would be really great. Bella doesn't have to have a job her first semester because she saved up so much money. She worked so hard this summer and she saved up almost $8,000.
Oh, good job, Belle. Oh my
She's
gosh.
so responsible with her money. So, she doesn't feel like she needs one her first semester, maybe by second semester. Plus, we want her to like get a feel of college before you have to add a job.
She needs to like get NC State's campus is huge. So she's really got to figure out where things are and all of that. So that'll be good.
Yeah. So she,
so they're an hour and a half away. That's really not that bad.
It's not that bad. And they have FaceTime and they have text. They have all these things that we did not have. We both went to college with boyfriends.
With a boyfriend.
And long distance.
Yes. And so we were long distance that whole time and we made it work. Mm-hmm. I saw him all of the time. So I know that Bella and him are going to be just fine.
Yeah.
But it's still,
so
the
hard.
final goodbyes like that are just heart-wrenching.
Heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
So then I said, well, come on in. Let's hug. Let's love each other. Love on each other. We do love each other.
Yeah.
Let's love on each other. And then I had asked her, would you like me to sleep with you tonight? I would really love to sleep with you tonight. Would you like me to sleep with you tonight? And she came out of the bathroom and said, I would like for you to sleep with me tonight. So I said, great, because I already moved all my stuff into your bed. Anyway, the water pillow's there. The eye mask is there. My charger is there. So I'm sleeping in there.
Oh my gosh.
So we just held each other and I rubbed her eyes and just like I would do when she was a baby, make the figure eights over her eyes and just gave her a kiss. And then she fell asleep in my arms. And that was our last final sleep together. I never let my kids sleep in my bed ever. When they were little. I was so strict about sleeping. But it just felt good to be in her bed that night. We slept for all of, I think, 5 hours.
I was going to say, did you sleep well at all?
We went to bed at 2 a.m. and I think the alarm was set for 7. And then we got up and we went to Original Pancake House for breakfast. One final family Original Pancake House. We love it.
That's y'all's spot.
We love it so much. Yep, it's our spot. And we went to the one in Midtown.
Yeah.
Because that's where we used to walk to all the time when we lived in the condo right there. So it reminded me of them being little. So during the final supper, the Last Supper where I made her favorite chicken and dumplings. Lily had said to me for weeks, I want to make her a Wen box. What do they call it? Open Wen box.
Open Wen.
I want to make her an open Wen box. And I was like, oh, yeah, we've been meaning to do that. So we had to run to Walmart anyway. And so we went through all these things, open on a rainy day, open when you're missing mom, open when you want to think about dad and that sort of stuff. And so Lily went through Walmart and we split up and she was just grabbing this, and open for game day. It was the Mike Pence. It happened. What does it mean?
Y'all, a Mike Pence fly just
landed on my nose.
Just landed on Miranda's nose.
Now it's on my wrist, but it was on my nose. Hold on.
Wait a second. What does this mean?
I'm going to get it.
What does this fly mean?
When did this fly get in?
I don't know.
I wasn't here when we were recording the first one.
I'm so confused.
This is Bella.
It's Bella. Well, don't kill it.
Yeah, you're right. It's on your knee.
Bella.
But some people see their babies in butterflies or in bees or whatever.
Yours would be
mine's
a fly.
A house fly, a dirty house fly. If that is not the most on-brand thing I've ever seen in my life, I swear to God, this brought the fly in.
Oh, it's the makeup sponge.
The makeup is not a makeup sponge, but it looks like it should be.
It looks like a makeup sponge.
What the hell?
The microphone cover makeup sponge.
Oh my God.
We literally could use it.
Look, I have a broken nail. I have is
that your nail?
Yeah, I broke it trying to find the microphone cover. I broke it in the drawer trying to open it. So I have half of a nail here. I have my dirty nail cover. The fly has now joined us because we're so gross. I'm so gross. Not we are. I would never lump you in.
Landing on your nose will be.
That's the still. That's the cover of the YouTube video. It's going to be, what have we talked about? How many times has Kristen referenced the Mike Pence fly on this here podcast? So many times. What a callback, fly. Thank you. If we don't, we care about continuity.
We do.
We care about continuity. Emily Odom is listening. She's trying to catch up. So she said, this summer has been so crazy. I haven't been able to listen to the podcast.
Oh.
So she just went to the most recent one and is working her way back.
Oh, going backwards.
I said going backwards. Who would ever do such a thing?
It's not demure.
No, it's definitely not demure. And so I was like, are you not confused as hell?
Yeah, because we reference so much.
We call back.
As Lady Gaga says, to reference or not reference.
I mean, my God, we've said it 100 times. But it's funny to me. I'm like, so you're listening to us talk about the Olympics, but then talk about June?
Yeah.
What?
I don't even know what we talked about.
I don't either. But I know we were funny this summer, so I said, well, enjoy. They're all bangers.
All the catnip episodes. Those are like my children. When I see them on our little thing where I upload it and they're just back to back and I see all the little names and I'm just like, these are my babies.
I love that so much.
These are my little babies. The titles of them, all of it. I'm just like,
I love that.
I've packaged them up and I put them out into the world. Those little catnaps.
I love our catnaps.
Yeah.
They're funny. They're really funny. I think we're just extra unhinged because we're batch recording so many. By the last one, it's like anything goes. Say it. Go ahead. Who are you voting for? Say it.
It's me dying in the Revolutionary War on a pirate ship.
Oh, God. Yeah, when
that's
you're like,
where we end up.
Is that my past life? Oh, but what about the World War II stuff? It's so funny. Okay, so, yeah.
The fly really threw us for a loop there. Okay.
Oh, her Last Supper, the open when box.
Oh, the
so
open when,
Lily goes and grabs all the things, and then she puts them all in white bubble mailers, and she includes notes, and she's so thoughtful. She's like, okay, for the dad stuff, because Joshua always has gum on him. He always, I know, fun fact.
Yeah.
Fun fact, it's not stick gum. He likes the little, kind of chiclety kind of.
Chiclet
yeah,
gum.
like the hard kind of gum.
Yeah.
And he buys it in the packs where there's 180 of them. So Joshua is always loving gum. And so it open when you want to think of dad. And so we did like a huge pack of the gum in there. And then she even had Joshua write a dad joke, and we're going to include that in there.
Oh my gosh. Lil, you're so creative.
So creative, so thoughtful. And then she said, I want everyone to write a letter to Bella. So it was like open when you're missing mom. Or need some insight from mom. And so I wrote a letter, open, and she even had her boyfriend do one. And
very nice.
It was just so sweet. So then we gave that to her during the Last Supper. So it's in a cute little bin, and it says open when. And so like open for game day, we got her red nail polish and a red bandana.
How cute.
Just like little things. I bet we didn't spend $100 on this box.
But it's just about the memories, and it's about the thought.
It's about something to open when you're desperate for just a feel of home.
Yeah.
Okay, you know that we made this at home. We made this for you. The thought was put into it. Open it now. Open on a rainy day. It was just a new red umbrella.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
maybe she forgot to bring her umbrella to school. Well, now she doesn't have to worry about it. Open for a rainy day. Open when what was it? Open on a movie night, and it's just packages of popcorn.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing major, but just little things to know she was thought about before.
Yes. And that her sister knows her
So well.
There's something very special about being known.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be expensive or these big grand gestures, but to just know somebody so intimately like that is priceless.
Yeah, and Lily does. I mean, and she's paying attention. She notices all the things. Bella does back for her too.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course,
she really, really does. But right now it's kind of all about Bella.
Yeah.
But what feels so good about this is that I feel like this summer, even though it's like the final summer and Bella's going to college and everything, we tried to make this summer so much about Lily's dreams too.
Yeah.
We're going to her camp in Montreal. Then on the road trip, we were going to bypass Montreal. We did not need to drive through it. We could have driven around it on our way to Quebec City, but instead, I know how much she's missing Montreal. She really wanted Joshua and Bella to be able to see, this is where I trained, and this is where we went and walked to for dinner, and this is that. So we're like, you know what? We're going to tighten up some time in this place. We're going to hit up Montreal. She fell asleep actually in the car, so she woke up in Montreal.
Was she surprised? Y'all hadn't told her?
Well, we had not told her that we were going to do it. She was like, I was kind of surprised. I kind of knew that you would do it. Like she knows me well enough to know that if I'm not driving around Montreal.
Yeah. Yeah. She knows that mama heart is like,
yes,
this is my child's dream. We're doing it.
Absolutely. And she was so thrilled to show Joshua and Bella everything. And I mean, she was our little tour guide. Well, this is where we ate. And this is Old Port. And here's Curios. And then here's where the headquarters and everything. She was so happy to play tour guide for them. And now when she tells her stories, they have
That's
the
true.
place.
Yes.
That, they have the
visual.
Thank you. They have the visual with the memory.
Yes.
And so that made her so happy, and that made us so happy. And she really does love Canada. And so then to go to another place in Canada and everything, she was just delighted by. So I've tried to, it could feel a lot about Bella.
Sure.
But instead, we've done a lot for Lily too.
Yeah.
And I think she notices that, and that helps her pour more into Bella ultimately.
That's right. Yep.
Because she doesn't feel like, God, I'm just the younger sister. I'm just left behind,
No.
Not
at all.
So as I always say, connection breeds cooperation with your children, with any relationship actually. Connection with your spouse, they're going to cooperate more.
Yeah.
Cooperation comes from connection. So if your kids if you're feeling like you are asking your kids to do a million things, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do that? And they're constantly like, no, well, one, that's a whole nother subject. But really what it comes down to is they're not feeling connected to you. So they don't want to cooperate. So all it would take is, hey, do you want to go on a walk? Let's go on a 10-minute walk together. Tell me everything. Shut up. Listen to your kids.
Yeah.
Talk less, smile more. Hamilton told us this.
Yes.
Just listen to them. Don't fix it. Don't anything. Don't relate to it. You don't have to center yourself in the story. Just listen. When you come back from that walk, if you were to then say, hey, can you go pick up your room? 9 times out of 10, your kid's going to go, okay.
They will.
They're connected.
They're
That's
connected. And I think through the connection, it's like, I kind of want to please mom. You know, like
Yes.
it will delight their heart
Yes.
to please you.
Yes.
Because you do that for the people that you love.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
I love that.
So we're just feeling super connected. And also it's funny because a lot of people have asked like, was your road trip shorter this year? It feels shorter this year. And yeah, it was. I mean, it was a tight 8 days, but it was because of our schedule this summer. We had Costa Rica right at the top of it.
Yeah.
Lily had a 2-week camp. Joshua had to go out of town. Bella had orientation. Then she had a hard move-in date. Out of those tiny amounts of weeks that really summer ultimately is, I think somewhere along the line we thought summer was 3 months long. It's not.
It's not.
I don't.
It was like less than 2 months this year.
It's really tight. So
Yeah.
out of all that time, we had a pocket of 9 days. 9 days. And so that was the longest stretch we had. Yeah, we had 2 days here or 1 day here
but
or whatever.
Your longest stretch was only 9 days.
It was only 9 days.
where everyone was in town.
Yes.
Wow.
So it was a very small window, and that's when we did our road trip. And usually we do it in June
Yeah.
or very early July. It was a God wink.
Wink.
But it was amazing that it was pushed. It had to be pushed to the 1st of August because we've never felt more connected, right?
Yes.
Like it was this perfect time where it's the 4 of us. It's
Just
the core
the four.
4.
Yes.
And it's 8 days straight, and it is waking and being together and no other relationships
Yes.
coming in, no other people coming by. It's just us, Joshua, not being too distracted by work. Of course, he still had to work on the road, but like all of that, it's just us. And then we came back so connected
right before she has
to go. So
Yeah.
it was great. And it's just perfect timing. It was perfect
You're right.
timing.
You're right.
So it was exactly how it was meant to be. Does it make it maybe sting a little bit more because you're like, we were just together. We were sleeping all in the same room for 9 days, you know? But no, I think it actually helped a lot. It helps a lot to have that super packed, intense family time. Because it kind of fills up our buckets.
Yes.
To send her away.
And also, I think it's been probably nice this summer for you to just have so much going on.
Yeah.
Like to be a little distracted and not just sit in the silence and stare at the wall and feel
Yes.
sad. And that's good for all of the 4 of you to just be like, we're go.
Yep.
And then we're going to have this awesome family time. And when we get back, it's
We
time
know.
to pack.
Yep, it's time to pack. And it was. I mean, we literally got back and it was, why put the suitcases away?
Yeah.
Just keep them out.
Yeah.
I'll just put everything in there. And it
So
was great.
Wednesday was packing day.
Packing, making the open wind
You did the
box,
open wind,
giving
you
that
did.
to her. Last supper, the
Yeah.
chicken and dumplings was
Chicken and
amazing.
dumplings.
And then we woke up, and then I
Yeah.
slept with her. Then we woke up the next morning and went to Original Pancake House. Then we drove to Raleigh and went and checked in Syme.
Okay.
So that's where you check in, got her key to her dorm room, and then we walked next door. But it was perfect, y'all, because usually parking can kind of be a mess.
Okay, I was going to ask you this. And y'all, okay, listen. I don't care if this
have-
is boring for y'all. I need to know it because I know this dorm and I know the parking situation for Welch, and it is not good. It is not good. And I was really wringing my hands about this. I was like, but where are they going to park?
Something y'all need to know about me, I have the parking gods on my side. Whoever is the god of parking, and I don't think that there is one in Greek mythology, but there should be. Let's name her Miranda.
Yes.
I just have 1, I'm an incredible parker. 2, incredible parallel parker. 3, I have the parking gods on my side. If I am driving somewhere, like I don't understand the memes anyway, where it's like, I don't go anywhere unless I can park or valet or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I love a challenge with parking. I will find a way to make it all happen. I just have really good luck when it comes to parking. There will be a magical spot that opens up or someone will let us in that gate because I'm there. I just have that luck. I just do. So I said to Joshua, you know, I think Bella's been given some instructions about where we're
Right.
allowed to park, and then you have to quickly unload and then you can go move it. But when we showed up, there was one spot on the street right there. They have some parallel parking right across from the design center and
Are you
Welch and
kidding
everything.
me? That's
There's-
where you got a spot?
There's like 10 spots on the street right there. I said to him, I know one will be open. Sure enough, it was. We were able to park right there. We paid our 2 hours at the parking meter for $3 and we got everything unloaded.
When
in
I tell
no
you
time.
those spots were always full.
Always.
I could never park there throughout the school year. It was maddening trying to park at NC State.
We've gotten to park there the last 3 times
cannot
we've been at.
believe
I know
this.
the last 3 times we've been at NC State when we went up for the design
Yeah.
tour. We got to park right there. Then when we found out that that's where her dorm was, Joshua was like, I feel like that's right where we parked for the design center. When we went back that day, that spot was open again. And then this time when we came up to move her in, same exact spot was open again. All 3 times, same exact spot.
Okay. That means all of this was meant to be,
I
and
know.
it's exactly as it should
It's like God's just moving whatever car was there,
Yes.
and then we just pull up and there it is.
I'm so happy for y'all.
I know.
That must have made move-in so much better.
So much simpler. Then all we had to do was roll our suitcases out and the few like things that we had that had handles, and we were totally unloaded in 10 minutes.
Amazing.
10 minutes, moved it all in. And her roommate's real sweet, so y'all have to update you on the
Okay,
roommate
yes, okay.
situation.
Y'all know
everyone was thrown off by this.
We've talked about this for several episodes of like, what is going on?
Will
with
she,
the
won't she?
roommate?
Will she, won't she?
Yes. And now we have a final answer.
We have a final answer. So, yeah, I think where I left off with y'all is she was assigned someone. They decided not to go to state. So she waited weeks and weeks and weeks. They then wrote her and said, hey, you're not going to have a roommate your first semester. She was delighted. I was saying no, she needed to be humbled by another person having to live with her. Maybe it would make her tidy up, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. Okay, so then weeks go by. She's at orientation and they say she gets an email and it's like, hey, you have a roommate.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, so who's this? She looks her up.
Yep.
She could find her on Instagram. She looked so sweet. She was from Wilmington. Well, that's where her boyfriend's going. So
Right.
she was like, maybe I could just ride with her.
Yes.
This girl just looked real sweet. Looked a lot kind of like Bella too. So she DMs the girl and is like, hey, I'm your roommate. Are you at orientation by chance?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. And the girl writes her back and says, hi, nice to meet you. I want to live with my friend. Like her friend, I guess, maybe I don't know if she had been deferred and then found out she got in
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
or what was going on. Because I know some colleges waited until August to tell kids you're in.
That's not cool.
It's not cool.
I'm sorry. If
not.
someone's like, if some other student's on the fence, you
Yeah.
need to give them the hard deadline.
Yes.
So you can let other people know what they're doing in
It's
the fall.
crazy.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
So I don't know if that's what happened, but the girl was like, oh, yeah, you sound really nice, but I want to live with my friend who's now going to state. So would you, but I can't request this. You need to fill out paperwork saying that you don't want to live with me. And then my friend is going to do the same thing with her randomly assigned roommate. And she's going to ask her to say that she doesn't want to live with them. And then they're just going to pair us up together and they're going to pair you two up together. And Bella, okay, let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about it. It's tough. It's a
It's-
tough position to be put in.
It's a tough position to be put in because essentially it forces Bella to say yes.
Yeah.
Because if she says no, then you're stuck living with this person who what's going to resent you
Yeah.
for that entire year.
Yeah.
Like,
This
you
girl-
wouldn't let me live with my friends.
Correct. She was in an impossible situation. She had to just say okay.
She had to
And,
say
and
okay.
roll the dice and say, well, who's this other girl going to be?
And also, like, does your friend not want to live with her for a reason?
Right.
We didn't know she had been, excuse me, let me back up. We didn't know if they had been randomly assigned.
Right.
Or if they were friends coming into it, but then, oh no, I want to live with this other friend more.
Right. So it's like, is there beef there? Is something going on that this is a
Yeah.
bad situation? And now Bella's being inserted into it.
Exactly. So we were a little bit trepidatious about it. Obviously, Bella's been randomly assigned to this other girl, but I think you can get a vibe from somebody plowing through their social media and seeing
Absolutely.
things. And yeah, she did love the fact that she lived in Wilmington. And this is Bella again, doesn't have a car up there.
Yeah.
So she is relying on other people and thought, well, if we hit it off and maybe she wants to go home for the weekend, I'll go and I'll be with my boyfriend. Like,
Yeah.
so, but again, you're in a tough position. You kind of have to say yes. And the other girl was in a tough position. She probably felt like she had to say yes too.
Correct.
So Bella is about to like fill out the paperwork and everything. And then she finds out
It's
that
been done.
It's been done.
The paperwork has been filed.
It's been filed. So
So-
the other girl, because she did it, that was enough for
it
them.
just triggered the whole thing.
It just triggered the whole thing. And so Bella finds out from her. She's like, hi, I'm your roommate.
I mean, y'all, this was like scenario number 4.
Yes, she's been no roommate to you're not going to have one to new roommate to now you have a different roommate.
This has been a lot.
It's been a lot. And this is all happening in the second half of summer. I mean, we knew nothing until just the last few weeks. And so Bella meets the girl, right? Her name's Jayla. I'm allowed to use her name. I've gotten all of that cleared.
Jayla.
Shout out to Jayla. So Jayla writes Bella, hey, I'm your new roommate. And Bella's like, oh, I never even filled out the paperwork. She's like, well, I felt like I had to. So it just triggered it. And now they're together. And she's like, they're going to live three doors down from us.
Okay. So they're in Welch.
We said 3 doors down last episode.
We did?
Like you did.
I said 3 doors down.
You said,
I did. I said I could see the zoom in from 3 doors down.
From 3 doors down. And then we just said it here. 3 doors down.
There's so many
weird
things happening. There's a car engine that sounds like a train. There's a fly on your nose. There's 3 doors down.
What's going on? The parking spot being open every time.
It's like Joshua's grandmothers from the grave.
It's coming back. Garnet and Violet.
It's Garnet and Violet coming through.
They're doing something. And it's really great. And I would like them to keep up.
Keep it up. Because like the tectonic plates, I feel them shifting. They're shifting. I've got 1 foot on each. And
oh my God.
We're going to make it after all.
We are. We're going to make it after all. Got it. And what's that from? Laverne and Shirley?
Where she throws the hat.
Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Got it. Wow.
But I was hoping it was Laverne and Shirley because like it's two besties doing their thing.
That would be cute.
Okay, it's fine. Anyway, Jayla and Bella are Laverne and Shirley now. And way to bring it back. Wow. Nirvana level.
They are the modern Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley. So she finds out that she's going to be her roommate. They look at each other kind of online. And Bella's like, okay, well, this is it. I'm excited. This is my roommate. It is what it is.
It is what it is, Trey.
It is what it is, Trey. And we'll just see how it goes. And so on the road trip is finally when Bella was able to even like text her.
Yeah.
Text Jayla and just say, hey, like, who are you? What do you do? What do you like? All the things. And so at some point, Bella looked at me and she goes, I think we're going to be really good friends.
Oh.
I feel really good about this.
Oh,
I think we're going to be okay.
And didn't you say that she lives outside of Raleigh or like in Raleigh?
20 minutes outside of Raleigh.
Which
kind of in a smaller town, but just outside of it.
I was delighted by that information. I think having a roommate who knows the lay of the land, has a mom and dad close by, can scoot home for a home-cooked meal, or you're having a bad day or whatever. It's just... This is serendipitous, and I'm delighted.
It was so sweet. She said, if we need anything, my mom's right there. If we need to do laundry or if you want a home-cooked meal, let's just go to my house. So instantly she was already being extremely hospitable. And they then were able to kind of talk like, maybe this all worked out exactly how it should. We were placed with all these. Bella's like, I've been placed with so many different people. I've been told so many different things. And maybe it was all to just get to you.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll be in each other's weddings. Like all those things that you hear or see about in the movies, but also hear from other people.
That's right.
I mean,
it's the invisible string.
Lisa Pyatt. She was telling me at your Olympics party, like look at Kristen and me all these years later.
And I met her at orientation.
Like
on the bus. We were like riding on the bus, like across from each other.
And you're just chatting.
Hey, you're in design school too? Yeah. It was awesome. And now she's still.
Bella met really good girls at orientation too at that weekend. She met some really good girls.
I wondered about if I dreamed that or if you had told me that. So I'm glad you said that. So
all design girlies too.
And the reason I'm wondering is like, does she have their contact info? Like she's already kikiing with these girls.
They already shared cell phones with each other during orientation.
Okay.
Because orientation was only for Wilson.
Yes.
So then the people there.
These are my textile girls.
Most likely going to be my textile girls, design girls, management girls, whatever. And so they all kind of gravitated towards each other at orientation weekend, got each other's cell phones, had a group text going, and they've had one the entire time since.
Good.
And so actually last night when we were up there, Bella and Jayla had already decided that they were going to have dinner together.
Okay.
As roommates, not with us. We were to leave. They were going to have dinner together.
Okay.
And then one of Bella's design girlies from orientation texted her and was like, I think I'm the only one of us. I think we're the only two who have moved in today because it's a staggered move in. I think we're the only two. And Bella's like, well, join Jayla and me for dinner if you want. And she said, actually, I think my parents wanted to do something, but it was just nice that she had someone.
She's
and she
already
could just,
got
jump in.
connections and the people, obviously, Adeline.
Yeah, Adeline.
Adeline is there.
She came by the room.
She did.
She came by the room yesterday
she's
to give her a hug.
She's a great kid.
Iconic.
Oh,
She's great.
I mean,
She's going to go so far. She could run the world. I
think I need her to like be in our lives forever.
I think she will be.
Okay.
I mean, I truly
Adeline,
think she
if
will
you're
be.
listening, like I need you to know that you're now in our lives.
I think she's going to design Bella's like wedding dress.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I genuinely think this about, her soul.
Yeah.
Like, we were meant to meet.
Yes.
We were meant to meet. She came by. She gave Bella a big hug, checked out the room, met her roommate. She was like, I'm sorry, I have to run. It's just, I could only be here for 2 seconds, but I have so much other stuff to do. I think she's moving in today. So she had to still go shop for some last minute things, but she took the time to come and see exactly where Bella is. And now she knows and gave all of us big hugs. Of course, she shook Jayla's hand. Adeline has the strongest handshake of any female I've ever seen. I mean,
love it.
She's shaking stronger than Alona Mar. I just know it. I mean, I was like, Jayla, is your hand okay? I mean, it's got a strong handshake, and I love that.
I love a strong handshake.
Especially she walks into boardrooms and is already like,
I do
doing
not
things.
like a floppy fish hand
No.
shake from a man or woman. Ladies, all of you listening, let's work on those handshakes. Let's make sure we're firm. I actually had a handshake battle with someone one time.
yeah, you have a very strong handshake. I've remembered this about you.
Yeah. So there was a
Handshake battle.
I did. Matt would love to tell the story. So we are in Orlando.
Orlando.
This is before kids. So
Okay.
we're down to see Jack.
Yes.
He's having like some people over. There's some of their old like frat brothers there, So I'm like, 25, 26.
Yeah.
So some of the fratty guys come with their wives. Well, I'm happy to meet people. We're partying. We're having fun. Well, some girl comes in and she thinks that she's that.
Oh.
She thinks she's demure. And that she's the one.
Oh, no.
And so
Not when you're in the room. Sorry, babe.
I know. I was like,
Sorry, babe.
and I think she was maybe a little bit like, well, who's this girl? She's not from Florida State,
Who's
whatever.
that girl? It's Kristen. Okay? Just know it.
Know it. So she comes over. The frat bro says, hey, he's super friendly, shakes hands. So she and I shake hands.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a strong handshake.
Oh, she does.
And we're like this. And when I tell you, we just looked in each other's eye. And I was like, and I said,
You don't break.
and
You
Matt,
do not break.
Matt's eyes were like this. And he was like, I knew you weren't going to let go
Oh,
first.
no.
I knew you would have
no.
stood there all night holding that girl's hand.
Absolutely.
She did. She broke first. I
She
said,
did.
it's not going to be me. It's not going to be me.
You alpha femaled her so hard.
I did. I just
love
wanted
that.
her to know, like, I spotted you from
Yeah.
the second you walk
Yeah.
in this door.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know how it is.
I'm the HBIC here, honey, okay? Handshake, BIC. Not head. Handshake, BIC. That's what the H stands for. Here, right now, you and me, mano y mano. HBIC.
And so that now is Adeline.
That is Adeline. And I love it. I love it so much.
So keep it up because that's going to serve you well.
Very well. It already is. I mean, my God, she's a superstar. So she came by. We got to see her. But yeah, so Jayla and Bella are now together. They chatted through text and things like that. That she has a boyfriend. Bella loves that because she's like, I don't want you to think I'm annoying when I always talk about my boyfriend.
Yes.
And yeah, family lives close by. She just seemed like a real sweet soul. Real sweet soul. So to the point of she got to move in the day before.
Yes.
Because local kids, I think, got to move in a little bit earlier. Like they stagger it. So I don't know how they choose who gets to pick which day or whatever or move in on which day. But she got to move in the day before. And so she said, I know your move-in is 12 to 1. I will go be in the lounge. I'll go elsewhere. I'll be elsewhere so y'all can just come in, have all the room and the space
So
and the
nice.
privacy that you'd like. I mean, that's just really nice to know that.
To have the self-awareness at
Yes.
18 years old to be like, I need to get out of the way.
17. So she and Bella are both the summer baby birthdays.
She's a young one too.
She's a young one too. Her birthday is August 25th. Bella's September 4th. So just a week apart.
Oh my gosh, they're so close.
They said that they're already going to do a joint birthday thing and that they're going to celebrate the whole week.
Okay, I'm obsessed with this.
So cute. Yeah, so she's just a little baby too.
Okay, this is great.
Yes, she's originally, I think, from Michigan. And she said that those dates, like she didn't even have to test in early, that theirs is early enough that she was able to start genuinely like at her regular date or whatever.
Yeah.
But that she, always felt young, and she's very little. She has a size 5 foot. She's very tiny.
Size 5.
Size 5.
Oh, she's very small. She's like a Simone Biles.
The very first thing that Bella saw were her slippers, and she was like, "Oh my God, she has the tiniest feet of all time." And so when she finally came into the room, I was like, "What size shoe do you have?" She goes, "I'm a 5." I was like,
Oh my
gosh, she's short. She's little tiny feet." But okay, so let me back up. So we get everything into the room. We have our space, even though she's already moved in. We have the whole room to ourselves. We get everything in, and then it's just like, okay, where do you want the furniture to go? How do you want the layout to be?
Yeah.
Well, there's only so many options.
I know.
So we raised up the bed, put the dresser under it in the far left corner, and then moved the desk and the little, side table next to it into the other corner of the room. And then she has a small, actually, it's kind of a big, what would we say? A walk-in closet, because you can walk into it.
Oh, okay.
But it's like just one pole on the back wall of it and then 2 shelves.
Okay, that's great.
But it's still plenty of room. We just didn't bring much. Like I said, it all fit in the back of Joshua's 4Runner. We did not bring much. So there wasn't much to move in.
Yeah.
I mean, we were done in no time.
Yeah.
But then we still had to go to Target and get some things. And then when we came back, that was kind of hanging the stuff on the walls, which you're not allowed to use anything. Even command strips have to go on top of painter's tape.
Oh.
Because it rips off everybody rips the paint off the wall, I guess, if you don't do it this way. So it's very hard to hang things because command
strips on a painter's tape.
On top of painter's tape. So then you have the blue painter's tape under everything you're hanging. So
Okay.
Joshua's in with an X-Acto knife. I'm going to take all of this off.
He's like, not my girl.
Not my girl. Not my design girl.
Oh my gosh.
But I do love that, Bella, because y'all, I see all the things on Reels. I see the tufted headboards.
Oh, well, they hire companies now.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen this woman?
The Bama and
lady.
Mississippi
Yes.
girls who are hired to do dorm rooms.
They go in. I think I might have saved it on our page because I wanted us to talk about this.
Let's talk about it.
They hire these women to come in. They tell them what their colors, what their design likes and dislikes are. And these college freshman girls get surprised. They come into the room. It's already beautifully done and decorated. Everything is matching. There are mirrors and desks and built-ins and tufted headboards and risen up beds with storage underneath. It is insane. And I want to know how much they're spending.
Oh, yeah.
Someone-
because they're sourcing it all for them too. They're just like, what's your budget? What is your color scheme?
That's what I'm saying. They're paying for not only the items, but for the design services.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know the total cost. Somebody needs to tell me.
I guess we could probably go on their website and root around and try to find out, but it is these rooms. Because, y'all, you walk into a dorm room. I mean, Bella, it's the linoleum gross floor. It's not a good color.
It's not good.
Then you have the old mahogany, looking beds.
Yes.
And the same, and it's just, but it's all not Formica. Yeah?
I mean,
Is it?
Is it real wood or do we think
No,
it's
it's not real wood.
The particle
It's like
board?
particle board, but
Yeah.
covered with, is it called Formica? Why can't I think of that real thin plastic sheeting that all the countertops used to have back in the 70s?
Yep. Let's see.
Formica?
I think you are right.
Is that just like that thin sheet plastic that's on countertops? I think it's Formica.
Yeah.
That's what's, so everything's covered in that.
Yes.
So it's not even like real wood, y'all. And so you can doctor this up. Trust me. I could have come in there and steamrolled over it.
Yeah,
and
you
said,
could have.
We're going to do peel and stick wallpaper.
Yes, we were.
We're going to contact paper this. We are going to cover it with some material. We're going to slip cover this chair. I could have done all that. But I asked Bella, would you like me to do that?
Yeah.
And she was like, no.
She didn't want it.
No, Mom, I don't. I don't need all of that. I don't need expensive. I don't need fancy. I don't. I just need my things.
Yeah.
And we're just going to move it in.
Yeah.
And we're not going to do anything that you see on these. Like, not even, I said, not even like the little headboard. Like, that's just comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, no.
I do wonder. I'm trying to think back to my college days. How much were we in our rooms? I mean, were we in our rooms that much that we felt we needed such a beautiful, comfortable, and
That's a good question.
And you and I love a beautiful, comfortable space.
Absolutely.
Like
we're in one.
Yeah, we want things to be designed.
That's what we both do.
But I'm wondering if how much were we in our rooms anyway?
I don't think I was.
I don't think I really
I don't
was
recall
either.
being in it much. And you're right. I don't think Bella's going to be in hers a whole lot. These design classes, she has a class that's 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like twice a week or something.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. She's going to be in the sewing lab. She's going to be doing and producing and creating.
She's going to be finding her spaces where she likes to just sit and study and work on things. And I don't know how much a dorm room is that space for people.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not.
So
But she didn't. But I still could have beautified it so cool.
I
So cute. I could have done like this before and after reel, but it was like,
You know what?
Before and after.
They might get to a point where these two girls really are just loving and adoring and getting along, that you and Jayla's mom decide you are going to do something because you now know Jayla's mom.
Y'all, how about this? So we move things and everything. And at one point, Bella says, I think I'm going to text Jayla and tell her. When we went to Target, Jayla came back to the room and did some stuff. And then Bella said, all right, I'm going to text her and let her know we're on the way back. I said, please tell her that we'd love to meet her. That she does not need to scoot out and go hide away. Like, I would love to meet her. And so Bella said, okay. So anyway, Jayla comes in. We've all gotten back from Target for a few minutes. And then Jayla comes in. And it was so nice. I gave her a big hug like, hey, you're going to be living with Bella. Like, good luck. No. We did. We just gave her slight warnings. Like, oh, well, mostly I said, will you just remind her to take her vitamins?
Yeah.
I need her to take her hair, skin, and nails and her iron. Okay?
Yes.
The girl needs the supplements. And you know me, I'm not big on vitamins at all, but Bella needs these too.
Yes.
I'm like, will you help remind her of that? And then also Godspeed, because she's a little messy. And she goes, oh, I'm so messy. I'm like, no, you two are going to bring each other down. You need to build each other up.
Okay, they need to like pick a day of the week where they clean.
I said, girls, listen to me.
Like Sunday afternoon.
It's a teachable moment.
Yeah.
You know I love them.
Yeah.
I said, Jayla, I'm already going to mother you. And buckle up, baby, because I'm going to do it forever. But you two, because it's such a small space, if you both start to get messy, it is going to turn into an episode of Hoarders before you know it. It will happen so fast.
It's going to be a crime scene.
There's nowhere for it to dissipate.
I know.
It's so tight.
There's no like secret corners.
No.
It's going to get bad.
This is a tiny room. I mean, this is the tiniest like dorm room I think that they have on campus. It will spill out into everything. Y'all need to try to stay tidy, and this is your mission.
Yeah.
If this is your pebble in your shoe, this is it.
Make a plan. Just be proactive. Make a plan. Get some garbage bags ready to go. Yeah. Just say, hey, Sunday afternoons, like we take an hour and we clean.
Yes.
And then your mind is clear.
That's what I said. I said when your space is dirty, your brain is dirty. Yeah. If your brain is dirty, you cannot do well at school.
That's right.
And y'all are here for one reason.
To learn.
You are spending $100,000 to learn at NC State. Ugh. Please don't junk that up with a messy room and a messy mind. And that was it. And I said, that's my only teachable moment for today. For today. But I really enjoyed her. She's so sweet. Such a sweetheart. Like you can tell she has a good soul.
That's good.
And I said, she goes, do you want me to leave? And I said, no, stay in. She was like, oh, good. I really wanted to. Oh. Really sweet. So then as we're chatting, we have nothing but time. We're hanging stuff on the painter's tape. We have nothing but time. And so I said, so I think she was the one who was like, oh, my mom found you on Facebook. And I was like, oh, really? She said, well, yeah, when Bella got back on Instagram to chat with me, then I, of course, saw you. Yeah. And you're very public. So then I was able to show my mom who you are. Like, Bella's mom has purple hair, and here she is. Yeah. And so she said, my mom actually found you on Facebook and then saw that you had a podcast. And so she listened to the podcast, and she thinks you and your best friend are so funny.
Jayla's mom.
I never found out her name, but it's just Jayla's mom.
We're going to just say Jayla's mom for now.
Jayla's mom.
You and her are going to get to know each other.
Yeah, we are.
You're going to become very friendly.
Apparently, she already has gotten to know us.
I know. I mean,
and I love that, but she thinks we're funny. And all that to say, and I did bring this up on my story last night. Jayla and her mom have only known that we exist for 2 weeks.
Days.
I mean, we're talking days.
For a handful of days.
Mm-hmm. And she said, I want to support her. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's not the flow that went through her brain initially, but just know that listening to this podcast is supporting. Yeah. Hugely. So for her to say, oh, she has a podcast, I'm going to pop it on.
I know.
Out of all the podcasts. And then find us delightful and funny. So much so that she told her daughter about it, that they had a conversation.
I know.
And then Jayla told me, it's so nice. It's so, so nice. And what it makes me wonder is if someone who doesn't even know me and hasn't followed my family and hasn't gleaned any insight from me and hasn't, adapted a recipe that is now in their family's rotation or anything like that,
Yep.
still listened, then why are there so many people in my life who have done all of that who won't? I don't get it.
We are wondering.
I will never get it.
We are wondering that
I will never get it.
every day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Every day. And
but Jayla's mom should be a testament that
Yes.
if people would just give a chance where a chance is due.
Yeah.
That they'll be delighted.
And she doesn't know us.
No.
She doesn't know us. She probably just turned on whatever the last episode was.
No, good God, who only knows what she listened to?
I know. And was like, yep, I like them. Like, that's so cool. It's so nice. And I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that from Jayla. And it tickled my titties and delighted me beyond. And so Jayla's mom, if you're now listening to this, just know that you really filled me up yesterday when I really needed a heartfelt win.
Yes.
I really did.
This was a win.
And a win is a win. And I do want everyone to just think about that. Like, what are other ways that you can support a friend?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
We'll use the power of friendship.
Just how can we best support? Because then it did open up my DMs to people when I shared this story. It opened up DMs, and yes, people started saying, okay, I don't listen to podcasts at all. Like, it's not you. It's not a personal thing.
Yeah.
I just don't listen to podcasts. One of them said, I don't even know. Is it Pandora? Do I find it on Pandora? I died. I haven't heard Pandora in so long. What was Pandora?
Pandora was
it a downloading app?
Yeah, it was. Was it music?
Was it
like Spotify?
Was Pandora at some point similar to or like a Napster?
Was it streaming?
I don't know, but she said, "Is it Pandora?" And I said, "That's a land in Disney World for me."
Yeah,
okay, that's only a land in Disney World,
correct?
And Animal Kingdom.
Here it is. It's still here. It says music and podcasts. Pandora.
Okay, so do we need to be on Pandora? Are people using Pandora?
I am shook. I thought this was like of yesteryear.
I definitely thought that this was dead and gone.
Wow.
Dead and gone.
Pandora.
But, okay, so now the egg's on my face. Excuse me, follower. Maybe it is Pandora and maybe we need to be on it. But I said, well, let me guide you through this.
Yeah.
And she asked great questions. So this follower of mine was like, one, I don't listen to any podcasts at all and I don't know where to find them. Tell me about Pandora.
Okay.
Then it was, I'm not in the car long. I have 5-minute commutes. I do not take or drop children, or I don't take or pick up children from school.
Okay.
I do not, what were some other things that she said? Just like these chunks of time. She's like, when are people listening to podcasts?
So you told her while
She
they're
said,
folding clothes.
while
they're taking
I'm not
a shower.
doing any of these things.
While you put on your makeup.
Yes. I told her all this while you're cleaning.
Yeah.
While you are doing your makeup, while you're doing your hair, while you're
doing the dishes,
folding clothes, any yard work. I listen to them when I'm picking weeds. Like, picking weeds is like one of my favorite things. So I'm doing that during that time. That's when I'm catching up on so much. I mean, what else would you be doing while you're doing weeds?
I mean, I guess some people just really like music and that's okay.
I do because you love music.
I do love music, but I think for me, I'll say when I'm doing tasks that I don't want to do, absolutely I'm putting on a podcast because I feel like I'm with friends.
Yes.
And I can just kind of zone out and listen to what these other people are saying.
Yes, that is exactly it. Music maybe is happening for me. Well, I'm not a big music person. I'm not huge into it, but music is when I am with my kids in the car.
Yeah.
We all love to listen to the same thing, right?
Yeah.
We're all going to be listening to Broadway. We're going to be listening to Chaperone. I am in a Chaperone moment.
Ooh, are you?
I'm in a chaperone moment.
Okay, I listened through that album when I was painting baseboards the other week.
Wow.
It's great.
Whoa.
It's great.
What a start. And this album was from 2020.
Yeah, so like where is this coming from? She all of a sudden has just appeared.
She all of a sudden appeared. Again, I think it was like TikTok. I think something popped off, but that Pink Pony Club.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep on dancing at the Pink Y'all, that is such a bop. That is such a perfect song. I'm obsessed with it.
I love
obsessed
it.
with
Okay,
Chaperone.
so you can be her stan, and I'm going to be the Charlie XCX stan, just because.
For a Brat Summer?
Well, that whole album is so good.
I haven't listened to any of it. I don't know anything
you
that
don't
they're
know.
talking about.
You don't know the song, like "Girl." I'm feeling some time to be a girl. You haven't heard that,
I have not listened to one thing from that Brat
but you
album.
know the apple.
I know that one.
The apple's rotten right to the core. Yeah, you know that.
Dun, dun, dun. I know that just from Reels.
Mhm.
Yep.
Makes me just wanna drive. Yeah.
Everyone's like, God, that sounded really good, y'all. They turned it off and they turned on Charlie XCX is what they did.
Just go
Y'all-
listen to these albums.
Y'all
You guys
not
will
like
love
when we go. Okay, we can be stands for different people. It just cannot be Chris Brown.
it. Oh,
Okay, that's it.
my Chris Brown dreams.
There should be none. That shouldn't be a sentence. That actually strike it. Strike it from the record.
Matt.
It's stricken.
Matt, strike it from the record.
Oh my God, Matt. Help. I cannot believe you let her say this on the pod. Okay. So what was it? So anyway, I listen to music when I'm in the car with my kids. Then podcasts are me.
Yeah.
For me.
For you.
Because they don't want to listen to Danny talk about housewives, but
No.
I do.
Yeah, we do.
I do.
Yeah.
And so I do think that there was a time in my life before we started this where I really struggled to find time to listen to the podcast that we loved.
Yeah.
I really did. I
Yeah.
would be like, I'm never going to catch up on it. Absolutely not. There's
Yeah.
just, when
Yeah.
am I going to do that?
Yeah.
And then we started this and magically found so much time to listen to our own stuff.
Uh-huh.
So it's there. It's there. It's just about changing the habit
Yes.
of whatever you usually do during this thing is you change it and you go, I'm going to put on a podcast now.
Correct.
It's as simple. It's just a simple change. It's simple in theory, but when you are a habitual person who, okay, well, when I do this, I listen to music, I turn on the Alexa, I da-da-da-da. You do have to be conscious to say, no, I'm going to actually turn on a podcast.
That's it. And you'll be amazed at how quickly the time flies. Just saying.
You will. So it was so nice to hear Jayla's mom say that and just like how quick that happened.
Yes.
Like when they're like, well, that escalated. It's like you just found out about Bella, then you found out about me, then your mom found out about me, then your mom said, oh, they have a podcast. Oh my gosh, I love it. Great.
It's so nice.
Like that's just so cool to hear.
I want to meet Jayla's mom.
I just needed that. I needed that yesterday.
Tell her to
of
come
all
on-
days.
What if she comes on the cruise?
I know. I'm like, tell your mom we're doing I already told Jayla. I said, tell your mom we're doing a cruise because she probably hasn't heard that episode because she's so new.
Yes.
She's so new.
She's so new.
Okay, so met Jayla. She was great. She stayed in the room. We were able to talk to her the whole rest of the time, and then it was time.
Okay. So then y'all have said you're not doing dinner with her.
Nope.
You're going to just make sure everything's squared away, and then it's the big goodbye.
We said all of our lovely things during the Last Supper.
Okay. So you gave all the advice and did all of that.
Yeah,
the
we
night
wrote
before.
the letters.
Yeah.
You know, we did all of that sort of stuff, and then it was time, and you could almost tell we were trying to prolong.
Yeah. Try to
Like-
drag it out a little bit.
Like, how many more things can we hang?
yeah.
Do you have anything else? Bella's like, I have no other decorations. Everything is hung. Everything's plugged in. I've put up all of my little knickknacks and tchotchkes and everything. And yeah, Bella's like, I'm really getting hungry. And we were like, okay, yeah. And you and Jayla are going to dinner together. And maybe this friend from orientation weekend. She's like, yeah. And so it was time. It was just, you just knew it was time to walk out. And I was doing great. I was doing great walking down. Oh, I did cry on the way up.
Yeah.
I did cry in the car on the way up.
You had said that on your stories.
I've been so busy. I've been so distracted
yeah.
this whole summer. I felt like, better part of the last 17 years, I've been distracted. And so I didn't really think about the fact that we're driving her up here. And then I knew we were leaving her. That was fine. for whatever reason, the thought of her not sleeping in her bed,
Yeah.
it was like, she's now going to sleep in that bed.
Yeah. For many, many weeks on
So
end.
she doesn't sleep in her bed tonight.
Yeah.
That is so weird. Like, you would have thought I thought about that when we were packing up the room and looking and sleeping in the bed together the night before. Like, but really, it just didn't hit me until I had enough time in the 2.5-hour drive
Right.
to go there. Go there.
And so I think in your stories, you said you kind of quietly to yourself stopped. You didn't want to make a big spectacle.
Nope.
You didn't want her to get upset, but that you just let the tears flow.
Joshua had the oldies on real loud.
Yeah.
And I just, and one of them was just a song that just triggered me. And I just started pouring my eyeballs out. And he looked over and gave me a little squeeze, like, it's okay, feel it, but like, come on, we can't fall apart yet. We haven't even gotten there.
Yeah.
So I just cried and cried and cried. And Bella was so distracted. She didn't see me. Alex, my cousin Alex, was like, oh, she knew you were crying. I'm like, I don't know if she really did. I was staying very in my little cocoon in my front seat, and she was sitting behind me, so she couldn't see me on the cat corner. But anyway, so I did lose it then, and then I pulled it back together, and then we got there and we did the whole day, and then it was time to say goodbye, and then we started to walk down the stairs, and that's when everything came up into my throat, and I just felt like I could not swallow it down. I know. And we're walking down the stairs, and it's just the thought that floated through my brain walking down the stairs is like, I can't believe we have to do this.
Yeah.
I cannot believe we have to do this.
We have to do this.
We have to do it. Now is the bye. We have to do it. And I was just like, it's so unnatural to drop your kids off and then leave.
Yes.
I know we do it for camps, and we do it but see, Bella never did one. She's still never in her life done a camp.
And I think many parents would say, like, whether that's dropping your kid at college or they're moving to a whole different city across the country.
Yes.
Like, parents around the world are having to do this.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
They're having to say goodbye. A long goodbye.
A long goodbye. I know. Let's just give a little giggle relief. The amount of people who are writing me like, girl, I feel I had to drop my kid at kindergarten today.
Wait, no.
I get the sentiment. I really do. I get the sentiment. That kid's been with you for every day for 5 years. You know, I get it. But you are picking them up in 7 hours.
Yeah, you're getting them at 2:15.
Yeah, or they're doing the staggered entry and they're not even going tomorrow because that's the M through Z's, you know? So like, it's not exactly the same. But the sentiment, I get it. You're very sad because you're dropping your kid off at kindergarten today, and it's hitting at the same day because private schools. I was like, yes, you're dropping your kindergartner off at your private school.
And that's really, really hard.
And that's really hard, and you'll see them in 7 hours. My kid will, eventually see me again. No, I truly do get it, and I'm not trying to poo-poo because everybody has a different level of like what makes them just fall apart sad. And so I get it. And in the car ride up, I had even said this on my story, like, why the hell did we start her a year early? I could have 1 more year with her. Like we did this.
Yes.
We did this.
But even, it probably would have made it that much harder because it's 1 more year under your belt.
1 more year with them.
Her.
I know the amount of people were like, wait, do I need to go yank my kid out of kindergarten? Literally sent them today. Like, do I need to go yank them out? I'm like, well, just think about it. I mean, it's something to float through your brain. But let me talk about that just for a hot second because I don't want to alarm anybody with that. Bella, when she was very young, was exhibiting behaviors that could have easily been questioned even as autism.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Being on the spectrum, the things that she would do. So she would like crawl over to the bookshelf and she would rearrange the books in height order. Okay, that's pretty interesting to do that when you're not even walking yet.
Yeah.
Okay. She would organize everything by colors and groups and then leave them together. She had obsessions with carrying green things. Like there were just some things. And one of my friends would be at my house sometimes, and she was a child psychologist. She was getting her master's and something along those lines. And she was like, hey, have you ever thought about having her tested? I'm just seeing some things and whatever. So she was the one who really encouraged us at 2 to look into some of this stuff. So we went, she was tested, nothing. She doesn't have autism. She's not on the spectrum or anything like that. But then as she kind of progressed from 2 to 3 and 3 to 4, it was very obvious that she had something special in her brain. And now we know that she has the E word that describes photographic memory.
Oh,
Whatever that E word is.
Okay.
Some long E word. And so she can look at anything, and then she knows the quantity. She knows the amount. She knows the words on the page, and it sticks in her brain. And that's it. It's so easy for her to memorize an entire book because she'll look at the page and then she'll know every word and she can recite it back to you, even if it's a brand new book.
Wow.
Yeah. So whatever that E word is, and I can never remember, I always confuse it with Lily's esotropia, which is her eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so then at 4, once we were noticing even more of this, it was kind of like, what are we going to do? She has a September 4th birthday. She misses the cutoff, which in North Carolina is August 31st. So she can't start then.
Right.
Because she misses it. She'll be 4 and you have to be 5 by August 31st. To start kindergarten. So then you have to go through this whole testing procedure. Okay. Now, if we had gone to private school, no. It's like, hey,
Right.
take my kid, take my check. But we were in public school. And so there's this whole testing process that you have to go through, and they have to be evaluated by multiple psychologists, and then you have to do a reading and a math, and then the school has to interview them. You have to meet with the principal. Then even after all this, so if they score in the 99th percentile on all the testing, and the principal approves them, and the CMS approves them, and all the things, then you still are given a 90-day test, a 90-day like grace period, basically. If you hold back the classroom in any way, be it physically, academically, then they can pull you out and say you have to wait until the genuine year, until the next year, basically. Well, Bella passed all these with flying colors. I think her IQ at that time was like a 146, which is extremely high. Again, that's at 4 years old. But basically what they do is they say like, okay, look at this group. They would, I was in there for some of the testing, but they would drop a bunch of Q-tips on the table and they would say, how many Q-tips are there? And she would look and she'd go 16. And if that was correct, then she would, get very high. Now, the difference in Bella, most kids would pull the Q-tips 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gets you a certain ranking. But if you're someone who can just look at a grouping and know the exact amount, if your brain is doing the counting instead of what they call like a pick counting, that's what they're testing them for. So Bella passes all this with flying colors. She's a very smart girl, and then she gets her 90-day grace period, and of course she was fine, and then she tested into TED in 2nd grade, and then she went to her IB school, and then she tested it, and she's always been fine, and she's never held anybody back. What we as parents had to decide with this information is, if she goes now, yes, she's going to be the youngest in her class forever and ever always. Mm-hmm. She's going to graduate at 17. She's going to go to college at 17. Mm-hmm. Here we are. We're walking right into it, right? But what you have to decide is, are you going to do that, or are you going to start your child the next year, not go through any of the testing or any of that stuff, and then start your child the next year, and they're going to be the absolute oldest. And if they're also brilliant, are they going to be bored to tears?
Bored.
And so we as a family came to the decision that she will most likely be bored. She's already an old soul.
Yep.
She's already very mature. We could see that even at those ages, right? And so it's kind of like, let's start her. And it's just funny because yesterday as I'm driving there, I'm like, we could have one more year. Why did we do this? So if you are in the same boat, if you have those kids right on the cusp and they have those kind of late August, early September birthdays, I know that you are wrestling with this decision for yourself.
Yep.
I think it's going to be based on a totally kid dependent, you know them best. And the other thing is you can always hold them back.
You can.
If you end up starting them young and you go through all of it and they pass the test and everything and you start them and you're like, I still think it would
just repeat.
benefit them, then just have them repeat a grade.
I've literally said, so Tristan is always the absolute young. He's September 18th.
Mm-hmm.
So Tristan is like absolutely always the youngest in his grade. Same thing. He had to test in. Now it is different for a private school, but like, he had to jump through all the hoops and stuff. And we just wanted to know, do y'all think he's ready? Same thing. He's going to be bored.
Yeah.
His sister is only 15 months older than him. Tristan was doing everything Tinsley was doing. It did not make any sense to keep them apart 2 grade levels. It made no sense at all. So we jumped him in straight away to kindergarten. But I said every single year, I was like, if we have a hiccup year, first grade, second grade, third grade, where we're just seeing he's falling behind, whether that's like emotionally, academically,
maturity,
and especially with boys,
and
we just kind of always kept our eye on it. But Tristan's personality, he just never. I mean, he is, in fact, I would say in the top of his class in all of those areas. So
I think some kids are just like that.
Every kid is different.
Yeah. And that was same. I mean, Bella still graduated high school with like a 4.3 GPA.
Yeah.
She had 1 B her entire life. Clearly, it did not hinder her.
I'm sure that B upset her.
It still pisses her off to this day. The fact that she was not able to, on high school graduation day, say, I've had straight A's my entire life, kills her.
What was that in? What class?
I don't remember even what it was, but it was a 5-point class at least, so she still got a 4 for it.
Oh.
It was like some AP something.
That 1B.
That 1B, but it pisses her off. She's unwell. She was given a B in middle school, and she felt like it was incorrectly given, and she fought for it, and she got it changed to an A.
Yes, Bella.
Yeah.
Now that's what I like.
But then she did get a B somewhere along the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
in high school. But it's okay. It didn't bring down her grade point average, but it brought down her heart average. But then, okay, so we're saying goodbye. We're saying goodbye. We walk down the stairs. The lump has formed in my throat. I know that the time has come.
Yep.
We walk outside. We just stop right there in front of her new dorm. And she said, I think that this is a good spot. We really just like vibed with her. If she said, this is the time, this is the time. If this is the spot, this is the spot.
This is like the Gorgas. They were outside her dorm.
Yeah, just right outside, right there on the walkway.
Oh.
And Joshua was the first to give her a big hug, and of course he's crying. So then that I can't watch him cry.
No.
And so I turn and I look at Lily, and she's already sobbing. And so I put my arms around her, and I'm trying to comfort her while I'm still watching Joshua give Bella a big hug.
Oh.
And that's when he said, everybody in, family hug. So he loves a family hug. Man, that man loves a family hug.
He loves a hug. He's a strong hugger.
Yep.
So
and he just loves a family hug.
So the 4 of you hugged.
Yeah, the 4 of us are just hugging, and we're all crying into each other's shoulders and smelling each other's breath and armpits and everything. And I'm like, okay, it's getting very hot in here, and I'm crying so hard at this point, so hard. And so we all pull away, and then I had to watch Lily and Bella say goodbye. Oh my God, I had to watch. Yeah, they just held on to each other for a really long time. They didn't say anything. And then they said their sister phrase, which is, "You're the best sister in the yard." And I was just like, y'all got to stop.
I can't.
I know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they were swinging.
Like, how did you just watch that?
I know. I just had to watch it. I just wanted them to have that moment. And like, I wanted to jump in there and like wrap my arms around them, but it's like, I just wanted it to be about them.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to be about them, for them, about them. So y'all, there's this iconic like swinging video that we have of the girls, and they just say to each other, whatever Bella said, Lily repeated her. And it was like, "You're the best. I love you so much, Lily." And then Bella goes, and then Lily goes, "I love you so much, Bella," because they can't say their L's at that time. And then she goes, "You're the best sister in the yard." And then the other one goes, "You're the best sister in the yard."
In the yard.
We've said it forever and ever and ever. You're the best sister in the yard. And so they said that to each other, which was really sweet. And then it was my time.